Oh, okay.
So in 1930, they started the plans and they built this building with the immediate intention of tearing down the limestone.
Oh, okay.
They stopped doing any maintenance on this building, and when they built this, they didn't even put restrooms in it.
Oh, wow.
It was a complete separate building.
Wow.
So they literally immediately intended to build on and finish this building.
Wow.
So for 20 years, the students trekked from the 1890s, 1910, through the weather, outside.
To go use the restroom.
Yes.
And there was another building out there or something they would go?
See, this is the 1930, this is the 1890. The front half of this building was built in 1890. The west half was built in 1910.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So we have 1890, 1910, 1930, and then in 1950, they built the hallway and the extra restrooms.
Wow.
So the students from this building would have to come over here if they wanted to, if they did assemblies, lunchroom, anything like that, because the multi-purpose room is over here.
Oh, okay.
So they literally were going back and forth between the buildings, and they tried to have a canopy here, but the weather would just destroy it, nothing flat.
Oh, yeah.
So most of the time, they were literally out in the weather.
So,
back and forth.
So is this the only school in Wichita, or no? I mean, is this the first one that was built?
No, it's not the first one, but it's the oldest that still stands.
Oh, in Wichita?
In Wichita.
Okay, okay.
And
I'm surprised because I thought East High would have been.
No, East High is actually 1921.
Oh,
did you go to East?
No, but my kids did. So
okay,
yeah,
my kids all graduated from East. So we have a lot of East High's artifacts here.
Oh,
in fact, the old lab before they did the new science wing.
Yeah.
The chemistry lab is upstairs.
Oh, okay. Can you show me that, or?
Yes, you can see that.
And you're with what group?
I'm not with any group. I just saw you online.
The keys you usually have.
Oh, that says Nirvana.
Well, that's the 1890s classroom. That was restored to its original condition back in 1976 when we went on the National Register of Historic Places. Actually, 78.
Wow.
And
black chalkboard.
Yeah, real blackboards, which you don't find in the schools any longer.
Blackboard, yeah.
And we have Jessie Clark's original piano. She was the first music supervisor for the school district. Gave her life to teaching students, was in charge of all kinds of celebrations and at the Forum before Century 2 was built.
Wow.
And she had an mandolin band and guitars and signed Be Natural is how she signed her signature on the yearbooks of students with the symbol, music symbol. Kind of clever.
Well, I work in property management, so I have to wear a lot of keys. So this is why I have it.
Well, I have keys attached to my body.
Yes.
Otherwise, I'd lose them.
Yes.
I'd set them down everywhere. But, okay, and then here is the furniture room, what we call.
Okay.
Which has lots of student desks. And then there's the library, the Crystal McNally Library.
Which way? The library?
Made up of books. You can turn lights on in there. They're either to the left or the right of the door. There's no rhyme or reason as to where you're going to find the light switch.
Are these the original books, or are these just ones you've collected?
Well, about 40% of the books that Crystal McNally, who was in charge of library media services for the school district here many, many years, she called these books from libraries of surrounding Century County schools as the district expanded. So it's all organized under the Dewey Decimal System. We also have yearbooks and annuals around the corner there.
Oh, wow.
From all of the schools, at least as many as have been donated over the years.
Oh, yeah, the East, yeah.
We're always open for that, and we have extras as well that we use for trade material.
So what's the furthest back you have on the East High?
Well, East High, we've got 1903, 1909.
Oh, goodness, wow.
And it gets a little spotty in the early years.
I bet.
But these are the extra yearbooks that we have.
I remember pulling these in school.
All we have of card catalogs, since they dumped them all for all of these books, unfortunately. These are representative of all of the books that have been distributed in the school district since the 1950s and 60s. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
The other rooms, there's a general history room. These are stereographs, stereopticon viewer. That's what these are. The predecessor to the Viewmasters, where the light's behind you when you're looking rather than looking into the...
Wow, how neat.
And each of these cabinets had 1,000 of these stereographs. Underwood and Underwood were Kansans, and they started a company for stereograph cards that were very popular. Crystal McNally was an entomologist before she was hired by the Plainview district during the war to set up their library system. So she was snatched up by USD 259 when that became...
Yeah.
When she became... Wow, they enticed her over with much better pay to be in charge of
Right, right.
Upstairs, we have the science classroom from East High School. This is the nurse's room on that side, and the
Oh, wow, yeah.
is the original principal's office. Their first classrooms that were built were the first floor and the second floor, 4 classrooms. And then 20 years later, they built 4 more. And 20 years later, they built the brick building with the intention of tearing this one down and adding on to the newer brick building. But that was 1930, if you've been adding up 20 plus 20, and the bottom fell out of the economy. They didn't have the money to do that, so they left both schools open but separate. Higher grade levels in the brick school and lower grade levels over here for another 20 years before they connected them in the hallway that you entered in 1951. Oh. So
I want to go see the East High. My kids went there. I'd like to tell her about it. She can come visit it sometime.
I'll carry this around with me. These are superintendents from through the years. We're missing one spot for Kelly Bielefeld.
Oh.
He was here just a little while ago.
1873. Jeez.
And this is a 1923 to 2008 or 6, and I'm not sure about which they tore down the science classrooms, but this was what was in 1923 at East High School was a physics and chemistry class.
Oh.
And we have the original equipment from there. That would have all been tossed in the dumpster.
Oh, yeah.
Soapstone, chemically resistant tops that were carried up. Yeah, the staircases, they weigh 150 pounds, each of these.
Wow. What is this thing? Do you know?
These are all electricity experiments of one sort, magnet-generated electric currents. Some were built by students, as you can see.
Yeah.
This is probably a voltage. Who knows? We'd like to get some of them operational again, but when they're all exposed like this, it's best not to.
Sure.
They allowed things back then that are not permitted these days.
Weight scale.
But here's a catalog of the equipment that they would have made use of.
Wow.
And ordering from Central Scientific Company. We've got quite a few of those pieces in our collection. And glass lantern slides.
Oh, that's cool.
Preceded the diapositivo, I'm thinking in Spanish here, the color slides that we have today, 35 millimeter. And these were sandwiched between 2 glass pieces. Wow. So we have hundreds of those that need to be cataloged.
Is that a camera? No, projector.
It's a lantern slide projector.
Wow.
Called. And
I never even seen anything like
this
that.
one works. We've got a bulb for that won't burn, and a source for new ones when that burns. But the chemical apparatus, a lot of that came from East High, including the electrical panel. They had a generator in the basement that would send up a lot of current that they could then use direct current or alternating current and judge the amount of voltage and the amperage so they could perform experiments in physics and electricity.
Goodness, how neat.
And all of that would have been dumped too, because when they tore down the science classrooms in time. We have replaced them since. We have the water bath table. In addition to the generator, the boiler provided steam to heat the water bath, fill up these, and then they can use to put the flasks and test tubes and whatnot. So for a classroom experiment, all of the temperatures would be the same.
Wow.
And they could do something in a 45-minute to an hour-long class. And of course with an exhaust hood, which no longer functions, but it's from East High School, so this is how it would have been set up.
Yeah, big, big, big.
That's Jabba the Tick.
Oh.
And we have in our collection storage lots of equipment, galvanometers and oscilloscopes and all sorts of things that are no longer used, but were really quite much in use during World War II. Fire blankets. You look through the student newsletters and you find out at least every month somebody was catching their clothes on fire and had to have it put out.
Oh, yeah, wow.
No serious injuries that I'm aware of.
No fire extinguisher, it's a fire blanket.
They had those as well, but the wash stations came in a little bit later.
Wow. Well, that's neat.
And this is between the lecture halls at one end of the corridor and the physics labs and chemistry labs that would be all of the stored physical apparatus. This is all paralleling the hallway behind locked doors.
Wow.
But you could walk from one end of the building to the other and walk through where all of this apparatus was kept. All of these cabinets would have been destroyed. Well, there's none that exists anymore that I'm aware of at East High. They tore them all out. They were built-in cabinetry.
Wow.
Solid oak.
Yeah, that's nice.
And we have apparatus storage.
Wow.
Various things. I have to get something more interesting other than do not operate machine without permission. We've got a lot of those.
I like the ladder too, that's cool.
Yeah, that's the only way to reach the top of it.
Yeah.
Let's see.
What is that thing right there?
That was a star projector, constellations from Washburn University. It was donated to the school district and they stationed it down at Stanley, a mile south of here.
Wow.
Off of South Seneca. And they constructed a dome in their library, new library down there at Stanley, to accommodate this for many years. But the original operators are no longer around, and it's not likely that it's ever going to be up and running again in the future. There's too many parts missing.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's a mechanical, it would take hours and hours. It's a good challenge for someone that wants to see what they can get out of it. It would be great. We provide the space and time to work on it. This is warmest room in the building.
Yeah, this is warm in here.
And it controls, presumably, the temperature throughout the building. So the warmer it is in here, the less gas we're spending everywhere else.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But this is what my wife calls Grandma's attic. It's just all of the materials in here were used in mobile trailer museums or at the Energy Adventure Center down at Ray Woodland School, which was established back in the late 70s to show what life was like before electricity.
Yeah.
And we've had some water damage over there and we're making repairs.
Oh, yeah. Well,
The Rutherford family.
well, that's nice.
They have stepped in and have done a great job for us. Saved us a lot of money. This is a home economics iron.
Wow.
They are heavy. That must weigh 10 pounds at least.
About how old?
Yeah,
you think?
this would have been used in the 30s and 40s.
Wow.
And we have some that are still in their wooden shipping crates, so we know that with the USD 259 address on it.
Yeah, that's pretty heavy.
Public schools.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a lot of things that are meant to be hands-on. It's basically our education collection. And that stone is an original Native American.
Wow.
I'm not sure about the mano, but the tate itself, that has been worn over the years by a lot. these are more likely what you're going to find for mano metate. And that's a molcajete made out of scoria, volcanic rock. It's a lot softer than this. This is a quartzite of some kind.
Yeah, this one is a little rough. This is softer. Yeah.
And not most students have no idea why and what that's. That's a soap saver. During the Depression years, I used every smidgen of soap and used this for washing dishes by stirring it into
Oh my
a
gosh.
pan of water.
Wow.
And of course, we have potato mashers.
Oh wow, I never thought of that, huh?
Usually German, but European style, and that one's Asian, if I'm not mistaken. But,
How neat.
yeah, this I remember watching World War II films as a kid. And,
Yeah.
they had grenades the German army used that they called mashers.
Wow.
And now I know why they called them mashers, because that's what the shape they had. They turned the handle to activate them.
Goodness. Wow.
And potato mashers, all of those up there as well. You can still find those. The price on those in the antique shops hasn't changed in 30 years. $14 is your average price.
Oh, okay, wow.
And they still charge that.
Please do not touch. What's this? It's like a
fabric.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Can get out of whack pretty quickly if there's. We don't have too many please do not touch things, but on the clothing and the fabric.
Oh, I understand,
and the dust, no, that's all dust, but it's a good portion of it. Dust is our enemy around here.
Yeah.
With these double hung sash windows that I forget how many panes, they've been counted, but there's so many that even if they're in good shape, they don't prevent dust from coming through. And heat going out. We find that out with our gas bill every year. And lots of farm equipment and blacksmith and horseshoes for farrier. No, and Jesse Chisholm's over here. That's where he is. Okay, he used to be over here next to.
Oh, okay.
Next to his yoke that was donated by the family. It hung over the office at Chisholm Elementary School for many years.
Wow.
And then when they added on to the building, they took it down and decided to bring it over here. I'm pretty sure these are reproductions that someone fabricated in later years, but the yoke itself has the original label on it that says used by Jesse Chisholm on the old Chisholm Trail.
Wow.
Donated by Bob Chisholm, a relative.
Let me.
To make ice cubes, fill this with hot water and just set it on top of the block of ice, a 25-pound block of ice like that one right there in the picture. And this would melt down into the block, and then you chip out and get square ice cubes out of it.
Oh, wow.
It's quite the...
Ice just came a long way.
yeah, a little bit labor intensive, but not so bad.
Yeah.
I've never run across one quite like that.
Yeah, that's neat. I always wondered how you get those beautiful, crystal clear, odorless ice cubes so quickly.
Kitchen improvements before the 50s were pretty low-tech.
Right? Christy Alley passed away, right? She's no longer.
A couple years ago. Well, no, maybe
I don't know.
Now that it's 24, I think it was 22.
Yeah, I think so, huh? Stan Kenton. I don't know who that is.
KG&E produced that whole set of pictures back in the early 80s. 85 or so. And our only set got damaged when the water came.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
So this is only about half of the whole set that they had. Quite a few famous individuals originated, or at least had something to do with Kansas, lived here for a while.
Right.
And, well, let's see. We'll take you into the principal's office real quick.
Okay.
See the one tool that the principal had to apply from time to time for corporal punishment.
Which is probably the paddle. Now you'd be arrested. But unfortunately, kids are...
Interestingly enough, it was permitted to do this up until 1996.
96 it was?
That was when they finally took it off the books. Corporal punishment was
Wow.
administered by the appropriate administrator.
Really? That's crazy.
And the roll-top desks, if they still exist, are always found down in the basement where the custodian is. They seem to migrate. They started out from principals and administrators and superintendents and found their way down to the lower depths of the buildings.
Oh, there's the puddle. That's crazy. To 96.
I have to get that Mccormick School principals replaced. We filled in those blanks since then, but I forget where that is.
Yeah.
And we had some water damage, as you can see. That's why some of the masonry work is being done on the exterior.
Yeah.
And but this building has the singular problem of water coming all the way through, and this is an effluent that comes. It's a calcium. If you put vinegar on that, a drop of vinegar, it'll bubble, bubble, bubble. It's being leached out of the plaster.
Wow.
And it happens naturally, but it accelerates whenever the mortar is failing in the exterior. We've recently had that replaced and repaired.
Wow. Betsy
Now
Lewis.
we just got to fix the inside.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep, a lot of work, but you can get there. You'll get there.
We'll be taking you downstairs, and you'll see Safety Sal. There's the history of safety. You might want to take a picture of that or something.
Okay.
She was rolled out into the street. Basically, was the precursor to street lights and holding traffic down with a semaphore. This was at 15 miles an hour as opposed to 20 today.
Oh.
But what precipitated Officer Million, he was with the police department. Lots of complaints about crossing traffic, especially before Kellogg was built. It was crossed frequently for Sunnyside and Kellogg Elementary and other schools.
Yeah.
And they needed some way to slow the traffic down, especially when school was starting. So the custodians had he invented this. It's about 5 feet tall, as you can see from the newspaper photo.
Yeah.
Rolled out into the street every day and rolled back.
Safety Sal.
And she worked for the most part. Board of Education voting booth.
Wow.
We call it a booth. It's the light table that shows what their votes are for any particular motion. And those were used for many, many years at Central Votech, which prior to that was Central Intermediate School, which prior to that was the second high school, 1911 built.
Oh.
And then they built a new boardroom up at North High School several years back, and they donated all of this to us. Someday we'll get them up and running. We've got all of the electronic parts that are needed to make it work.
Wow.
We just need. The one gentleman who knows how to use that is still alive, and I should get him over here.
You should do that.
Just to show me how it works.
Yeah.
Would be good to do. Nurses' offices haven't changed in many, many years, although in the more modern schools, any of the older schools, it looks just like this. We've lost a lot of nurses, however, in the school district. They've cut back so that a nurse can serve as many as 4 schools during the week.
Oh, really?
And prior to that, there was a nurse in every school.
Oh, look at the weight scale. That's good. You got that. That's cool.
Yeah, I remember a lot of that.
Oh, yeah, the...
Height.
Yeah. Huh. I check. Wow. Very interesting.
The other 2 rooms are collection storage, and then that's a storage room too. I hesitate to take you in there. It hasn't been dusted in
Oh, it's okay,
literally 4 years.
Yeah. Well, so you're open every Sunday, right? 2 to 5?
And Wednesday mornings we're here as well. Someday we will increase our hours.
What time on Wednesdays?
From about 9 till noon.
Okay, I'll tell my mom, so, yeah. Yeah.
A desire to do that.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Before we go down the steps. that is what the bell and the bell tower looks like. That one is slightly larger than the bell, but that's a 28-inch bell, the diameter, and the one in the tower is 26.
Oh, okay,
so it's
cool.
only 2 inches smaller.
Wow.
And when you pull on the rope, you got to swing it and pull again and feel it go back up and pull it again, and by that time it'll ring.
It'll ring, yeah, heavy. All right, yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Well, there are some exhibits here, right up in this landing, that you can quickly take a look at. I'll put the light on. These show some of the older photographs of the school from the east side, from the Martinson, and a couple from the back side.
Wow. I like the setup too with the lights and all that. That's pretty nice. Nice.
These were the two exhibits that were created first when they closed the school as an attendance center in 1992.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like that.
Had an original slate roof that we hope to replace someday.
Bell tower replacement.
And the bell tower is in need of attention now. It hasn't been touched since 1983.
Wow.
And it's falling apart. It
Yeah.
was fabricated. The original bell tower was removed sometime in the early 30s, 31, 32.
Mm-hmm.
They did that across the district with all of the old schools that were aging about the same. And all of those older schools have been torn down since.
Right.
This is the only one that has survived, and it's been the oldest school since 1960.
Wow.
Okay. Turn that off. Girls, senior girls at East High School were members of the Peppy Pilots.
Oh, class of 35.
It
Wow.
was a pep club that kept everyone fired up about
Yeah.
athletic games.
East High is still pretty popular.
Yeah,
a lot of
they
people.
just celebrated their 125th anniversary. So.
Yeah.
Did you have anything to do with it?
My children went to East High, so my older one. So yeah.
Well, here's Safety Sal. And
Wow.
she stands between two niches in the wall that were for a water dipper and bucket. One for the boys, one for the girls, because when the building was first constructed in 1890, there was no indoor plumbing.
Right.
And there was an outhouse out in the parking lot area.
Wow. Yeah, I think that's what she was saying that when I came in. Yeah.
And if you want to set that phone down, you're probably going to need two hands to ring that bell.
Yeah, were we ringing yet?
I could give you a picture of you ringing it.
Yeah.
That bell pull right there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go.
Go for it.
Okay. So I'll just pull it.
Yep.
I don't want to break it. That's why, because it's
Keep going. Let the neighbor know we're around. Yeah.
I can hear it. One more time. How cool.
That can be heard for blocks around.
Wow.
We've never had a complaint.
How neat. It's lunchtime, school starting. Yeah.
We've got a chain on here because this has been the 2 times we've been broken into, and this is where they destroyed the whole thing with bricks and knocked it out. And as soon as we replaced this whole framework, someone broke this, and it's been broken ever since. I have to talk to our assistants to help.
Yeah. I wish you could get like Nest cameras or something.
And BB gun shots from across the street.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh well.
Well, I know.
Of course. That's why we've expended quite a bit of money for security purposes.
Oh, okay.
So we can see quite a bit more, fortunately, due to a gift from a local foundation. We've managed to. Lights, of course, are where they are. I don't have much changed. This is our archives. We keep documents down here. This is probably the least interesting photographically. It is what we consider to be the heart of our operation. The records are kept.
Wow.
Started with 4 of these cabinets in 1976 by mostly with notes from Sandra Van Meter. She wrote the history of the Wichita Public Schools. It was called Our Common School Heritage, and when you find it in the library, it's got a blue cover.
Oh, okay.
With gold lettering.
Yeah.
But we still have a few of these books that are available for purchase, but they're out of print and will never be, I doubt, very much reprinted. But it has expanded since then, and one of our best sources of material are the school directories that go back to the 1880s.
Goodness gracious.
And they stopped producing hard copy in 2014.
Wow.
2014, 2015 school year. And since then, it's all been digital and online.
Yeah.
And no one will make a hard copy. So it's going to be hard for us to determine what the material, where schools, what your teachers were in which schools and when. And
right.
because that gave us a lot of information. So we're not looking forward to that in the future. I can tell you little things about all of these, but that's too much information.
Yeah. Well, you know, you've been collecting and
And we have forced air. When they built this building, they had a coal burning furnace. There was the first one on the south side, and then the second one was on the north side. And then when they built the brick building, they didn't make plans for heating this building, so the boiler is located over there, a steam boiler, and it sends steam through pipes over to here, over a curtain, and this forced air on the squirrel cage fan goes underneath the old coal burning rail.
wow.
And circulates through all of this ductwork, so it's a forced air heating system in the old building. So in some respects, the 1890-1910 side has more up-to-date heating than the 1930s building. We couldn't survive over here without that boiler in the 1930s building.
Yeah.
We have collected panoramic shots of various schools from the mid-1920s until about 1928. There were several photographers in town that had circuit cameras, and they went around to the schools and had everybody line up in front. And
it's everybody in the school, it looks like, huh? All ages.
Yeah, whoever was there that day. And the resolution of these photographs is really quite good.
It is.
We've digitized some of them.
Yeah.
And we'll use them for student curriculum in the future if we ever get around to it, because on a monitor you can focus on the faces, you can see buttons and ornaments and shoes that are tied and untied, so there's quite a bit of detail that comes through. But all of these individuals in these photographs, since they were taken between 1922 and 1928, are no more. Or if they are, they're over 100 years old.
Yeah, This is cute. Humpty Dumpty.
That's something that would have been found in a kindergarten class.
It's cute. Cynthia Cleveland.
Yeah, she was whom Cleveland Elementary School was named after. She was the first preceptress, or basically assistant to the superintendent in the schools in the 1900s, early 1900s. But this portrait was given to Cleveland Elementary School when it was constructed, and it hung in the hallway for many years. Then an autistic class in the 1970s refused to walk down the hallway because she was looking at them.
Yeah, they got scared, yeah.
So they had to put her in a closet for another 20, 30 years. That's where she stayed until she ended up here.
Wow. How neat. Little decimal. I like stuff like that. That's cool.
You're welcome to poke around anywhere else.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the tour. That was fun.
Well, since you're recording it all, you might as well do it right.
Yeah, no, you did great. Which way? This way?
This is the way you came.
Oh, okay.
And the door to the right.
I'll put a little bit of cash in the machine too, or the box.
I haven't seen the new building, that's true. Well, unless you were here. You weren't here last night.
No.
You've not been here before?
No.
Oh, well,
No.
all right.
Thanks a lot. Okay.
The rarity to see it set up for an event down here. We're going to be getting a platform lift that will go all the way up these stairs, and then we're not sure if the Tornado Alley Marines are going to hang around for very long.
Right.
Because in order for our museum to expand, we need more space.
Yeah.
And
Well, that's kind of sad
I'll
too.
show you the boiler before we show you the big
Yeah.
room. So I just heard it turn off. It's not going to be so noisy.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, this is a... Our next event that we have that you should come to is our potato around the St. Patrick's Day on the, I don't know what it is, the 14th, I think.
Oh, okay.
17th of March, whatever that weekend is. Let me see. It's not the whole.
Now it's kicking on.
That's just the air compressor. There's what the heating tubes look like behind those two heavy metal doors.
Wow.
And that's where we put foil wrapped potatoes on these metal racks.
Oh.
And in 45 minutes, you've got cooked potatoes.
How neat.
Really good.
Yeah, I bet. Wow.
Okay, the biggest room. And again, alumni from Mccormick come here after not being here for 40 or 50 years, and they say, "It was so much bigger when I was little."
Yeah. Whew, it's still big.
We had about 100 people here last night.
Oh man. Got the stage and the... Well, that's fun.
This was a quilt that was made during the term of a former principal at McCormick.
Oh, okay.
1975, 1980. Lee Patterson. I think her name is even stitched into the...
Yeah. Yeah. Huh. 1890.
And
She was
Franklin
born.
Elementary, back in 1986, they did one. Each grade level did a square.
Huh.
Some are pretty good looking.
Yeah, I'd say. Yeah, that's good.
And then a North High class reunion from 1947, I think.
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
Yeah, North High is pretty old too.
48, 49, and 50, I think. 3 classes they covered.
Wow.
So it's something that can be done. And we collect paraphernalia from the schools. They could do an old T-shirt with all of the booster paraphernalia they create
Right.
over the years. That would be something to see. Anywho, yeah, we're reliant upon the Tornado and Marines to move this furniture from upstairs downstairs.
Yeah, I bet.
Platform lift might help. I don't know if it'll help with these tables. But young muscles are what we depend upon.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, now you've seen it.
Yes, thank you so much.
Into the crawl spaces.
We could go on for hours. Yeah, yeah.
Now, you did sign in, so we got your names.
Yeah.
If you want to keep track of our events and what we're doing, make sure you put an email down there.
Oh, okay. I think I did.
If you didn't.
No, I did.
Okay.
We put some money in the box, and that's it.
Well, yep.
I don't want to break it. That's why, because it's
Keep going. Let the neighbor know we're around. Yeah.
I can hear it. One more time. How cool.
That can be heard for blocks around.
Wow.
We've never had a complaint.